Okay, so we're back with some more Apex content, and this time we're going to be going through how to go through gold in Season 10 of Apex Legends. Now, if you're new here, please do check out my channel for more Apex content, and do hit that subscribe button as there's plenty more on the way. But without wasting too much time, let's get straight to it. And of course, we're going to be doing a gameplay breakdown and sort of going through my best tips and my sort of tips as I pick up on fights and as we're going through the game on sort of what we're doing and how we're maximizing our RP. So of course, the first thing that you're going to start with is the drop, and in World's Edge my choice of drop would normally be staging. I think that's a really great place to land if it's doable. However, this game we did land in Lava Siphon, which is the old sorting factory. We just landed a quiet spot with maybe one other team, and if there is one other team, don't worry, that's perfect. The only thing you want to be avoiding is drops like Fragment, where you might have like 5 to 10 other teams, and you know, it's just gonna be third party after third party, and although that's great for getting your KP, it's not great for survivability. So we try to avoid that, and we try to go somewhere a little quiet where we know we can grab some loot and then push in for the early game KP. Now obviously I see these guys and then I realize actually I don't have enough ammo. I don't have really the ammo or armor to fight this. So I carry on with my looting, but they know we're here. I'm not too worried. I don't think they're going to push. It's early game. It's only gold. I mean, you know, I don't think there's going to be a huge push. Obviously, when I did record this, most of the people in gold were either X-Plat or Diamond players, as it was recorded at the start of the split. So we're sort of playing a little different because of that. And we know we don't really need to go all out for the kills. So I'm just trying to get the perfect loadout right now before we push that other squad. So I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit just as we go into it. Now, the Bloodhound we did have on our team was a random third, and that did present with some issues. So if you are a solo queue, you know, sometimes your squad mates aren't going to listen to you. They're going to do your own thing. The main thing you can do is try guide your squad and do the best you can. Take control of that squad as well if you are a solo queuer. So what happened is Bloodhound charged a 1v3 fight and obviously died as a result. Now, we have no control over this, but it puts us in a difficult position of, do we actually get Bloodhound's banner, or do we just leave and get out of there and just play for positioning? But we know we can pick up some KP here. We're not too worried. We're confident in our ability. So I noticed Bloodhound's banner is down. I check out the area before going for the banner, because realistically you want to put yourself above getting banners, and that's the thing I see a lot in like the lower levels. What people don't do, they'll be too scared to run away and reposition, and they'll always go for the banner. But sometimes leave the banner behind is the better option. So I make sure it's safe first, because obviously there's these rampart shields up top as well. So I check it out. I go in as I'm the movement legend. I go in. And Mythic provides a bit of cover and support for us, and obviously they spot him, but luckily I managed to get the banner. Now, as he is Seer, and as we know, Seer is very powerful this season, he drops his ult so we can see exactly where these people are, and we notice this Octane on his own behind here, so we focus all our attention straight to the Octane. We want to get him down as fast as possible. Now we're in a 2v2 situation. Now, I don't want to be messing around wasting my ammo because he is on a blue knockdown shield, but now we're in a 2v2 situation and we need to wait for them to make the first mistake. They have the high ground on us, they have the better positioning, and we need to do what we can to maybe drain their shields, drain their resources before actually pushing on them. So we kind of wait around, we just trade a bit of shots. Obviously they've got the rampart shields as well, which will deal extra damage to us. So we want to wait for them to make the mistake, and I kind of want to force their hand a little bit. So I do end up gravel lifting up and launching my ult in there to try and, you know, catch them off guard and maybe throw them off a little bit. At which point I noticed this Wraith portaling in to try and save their teammate Octane. So I'm like, okay, this Wraith solo, I'm gonna get the Wraith. So I pop in, we go in. I don't know why, but this Rampart decided to take the portal, and it was a pretty stupid decision because now they're on their own. They're not even facing me. They're on white shields. I have a Prowler in my hand, ready to go. So this is an easy kill, easy takedown right now. I don't know why this guy came from the portal. So we know that the Wraith is probably rezzing the Octane up top. So Mythic takes the stairs up, and I take the portal. Obviously, we're coming from different directions. It makes it a bit harder. We know that Octane won't actually have much health. And then, of course, Wraith gets taken out as well by Mythic because they're caught off guard. They don't know where we're coming from. And we're taking them by surprise. Obviously, if we both walk up them stairs, they're going to be expecting it. They're going to know where we are. So we get the kills, we get the KP, and then we just continue as normal. Now, at this point, we don't actually really need to do much. We've got a bit of KP. If we wanted to, we could wait around all game and just pick up position and late game KP. But this Bloodhound comes back anyway. We get him back, and then he decides he wants to push out of ring and head towards thermal. So we're like, okay, well, we can't leave him on his own again. He might go down, so we don't want that. So we end up meeting a squad here. I'm a little behind, and of course we're pushing it. Mythic and Bloodhound do their attacks so we can see what's going on. Mythic did drop his ult, but I catched that guy. He was like 1 HP. These guys must have dealt some serious damage, but he was like 1 HP. I think that was just a pretty lucky kill. That guy was in an unfortunate spot. Must have been on his own. I don't know whether we were third partying at this point or not, but usually if you hear gunshots going for a third party, you can always pick up a nice easy kill like that if you are struggling for KP. In the lower ranks, I don't mind, you know, going for mid-game fights, but when it gets to higher ranks, I try avoid it. And then we meet this squad down the hallway, which is a Rampart and someone else. So we have the high ground, we have the ring on our side. We don't actually need to push these guys, to be honest. But again, Bloodhound wants to go. I didn't even notice there's a guy behind Rampart Shield on the bottom, but Bloodhound does and ends up taking them out, which is nice. And then that just focuses all our attention on the two at the back. So we want to get this Rampart Shield down. We want to be able to push into that. I'm just trying to provide cover and fire for the two teammates while they push in. I do get a bit of lag and ping spikes now and then. And Bloodhound and Mythic go in and clean it all up. You know, there's no problems here. I was there for backup if needed, but they had it no problem. So we have a good amount of KP here. I have 4. I think Mythic has a couple, and Bloodhound has a couple as well. So, you know, we have a good amount of KP. There's only 5 squads left, which when you get to the higher ranks, you'll understand that 5 squads is usually last round, not when round 2 is coming in. Like 5 squads is usually final circle, but it's pretty weird in gold how everyone seems to die so fast, even when it's X Diamond and Platinum players. So we can just chill at this point. You know, we have some KP. All we need now is to go for positioning. We're getting some good points and some good RP here. So we start moving in with a ring, playing the edge. You know, we don't need to be in circle too fast. So I'm just scoping it out. I do think that this building may be a better option, but then as the ring moves, I'm actually like, no, we don't need to move there. I was just going to use it for position to see if anyone was rotating into launch site, but it's not actually necessary. So I head back and think about the position. Now at this point, obviously we don't need kills. You don't need to treat it like pubs. Treat it like ranked. You know, the whole idea of Battle Royale is to get the best position possible. And if you're treating it like pubs, going for kills everywhere, you're not going to sort of be enabling yourself to potentially, I mean, you could be the best player ever and absolutely dominate everyone. Go ahead. But to potentially get the best placement, you know, you want to only take the fights necessary. You don't need to take every single fight. So Bloodhound spots someone behind us as well, so we want to keep them off us. I mean, there's no point heading back and trying to fight these guys. We already have the ring. There's no point trying to head back and fight. So I'm like, okay, let's just leave them. Let's go for position. Let's try get in the ring. We don't actually need to worry about these guys. We'll get the better position. So just skipping ahead a little bit, just doing a little more looting, taking it slow, letting some squads fight it out, and all this, and you know, getting that total squad and enemies down. So it makes it easier at final ring. So as we're rotating in, because we did scan the recon beacon and we know it's going to finish in, is it Dome? I think it's Dome, right? I think that's the word. I've forgotten the place name, but as we're rotating into this place, I'm sure you know what it is, just below Lava Sea. We noticed some squad on the high ground. Now, this is a tricky situation because we're on the low ground and they have the high ground, and we want to avoid. We have like not much cover. We have 1 rock, so we want to try avoid this fight. So what we do is we want to trade shots immediately to kind of scare them off and back them up a little bit. So they're like, they get scared and they have to retreat rather than forcing our hand and forcing us to move. And you know, I Horizon up here just to see what's going on, and luckily, you know, it scared them off, and this gives us a chance to push in and try get to that better position. However, while we are around here, the other squad, there is another squad in here who's going to hold us down, and that's the tricky thing now. Is we need to try and get past these guys. We need to at least knock one or force their hands somehow so we can get in there and we can push in and take that position, because that's going to be a really good position for endgame. So at this point, obviously, we're just trading shots. Now this was, I mean, the other bang kind of smoked us. Obviously the Cyril is up, so that doesn't matter, but that smoke gives us a little bit of cover. So I tried to get out because I don't want to be detected on the Cyril having very little health. So I try to get out there as soon as possible and make sure that team that we were fighting earlier isn't coming back around. We don't want a third party here. We don't want to get caught out by anyone on the left, which is why I grav lifted up again. And Horizon is very great this season. Obviously, she's got a bit of movement back on the grav lift, so it's fantastic if you are Horizon main or you just like playing Horizon now. Mythic has launched his ult in as well, and we're launching them tacticals, and we managed to knock one of their teammates, and we have this smoke here now. Their bang was smoking quite a lot, but this is actually providing us with cover to go for the push to finish off the fight. And we've got that one down already, and I think at this point they must have got scared because they seem to just back up and vanish. They left their teammate. They knew it was a 3v2. I think they just wanted to secure better positioning. And just forget about the fight. But because again we forced their hand, they're immediately a player down. We can move on, and we can get straight in there and take the kill and get the best position possible, because that's what it's all about, is keeping the better position at endgame, so you can gatekeep the other squads and they can't keep you out. You're already there and you have the better position. You don't need to worry about pushing in, and you're sort of forcing their hand to come towards you. So at this point we could just hold this down, but Bloodhound goes on a mad one, wanting more kills, and they end up pushing around this corner because they hear two squads fighting, and I'm like, Mythic, well, let's just hold it down. I don't actually think we need to push, but again, we don't know how many people are left. Obviously there's 4 squads and less than 10 people, so there might be a solo or a duo or a couple of those, but we don't want to leave Bloodhound on his own, because if he goes on his own and goes down, it could cost us the end game. So we're like, okay, well, we best follow him. We've got Seer, you know, we've got Recon as well with Bloodhound. So we go check that out. We go follow him, and he's at this point pushing into a third party, which they're stuck in ring. It's pretty good for us. Mythic drops his ult because obviously Seer's cooldown is very little. It's ridiculous, and he will be getting a nerf in the future. If you haven't heard, he will be getting some adjustments. I imagine that'll be to his cooldown and potentially his tactical as well, but I guess we'll see. So like I say, we didn't actually need this KP, but we'll clean up this squad. They've just come out of a fight, so we go for them, and obviously we don't want to leave Bloodhound behind. I think that's the other thing. Sticking together in ranked is so important, because if you come up against someone that you know, it's a 3v2 or a 1v3, you know, it's not going to end well, and you want to try stick together as much as possible. So we're all launching ults in, try to distract them, try to take them away from what they're doing, and we just clean that up. Now this is a tricky thing, because we actually almost throw the game here. What happens is I hear a Revel, and I know it's here, and I see him come around the corner, but I just miss all my shots. Like, it's so bad. I have no explanation for this other than just sheer just terrible aim and terrible shooting. So I need to back up at this point. Mythic's going for the res. I need to back up. I get the shield swap. I just grab a few meds because we don't know how many people are actually left. Although we only saw the 1 rev, we weren't sure if it was 2. So we were a bit curious, so that's why I kind of wanted to back up, make sure I had full health. He knocks the Bloodhound, and it is only the 1 rev, so we end up cleaning it up quite nicely. But, you know, that could have cost us the game. Like, if that was more than 1 rev, that could have cost us the game. And we didn't need to push that end game either. Like, we didn't need to push that we had the perfect circle, we had the ring, we could hold that down, but Bloodhound we don't want to leave on their own, and we sort of just like wanted to follow them and make sure, you know, make sure they didn't go down, because we didn't know how many people were left. And as you'll see here, like the damage here isn't crazy. Like, you don't need a ton of damage and kills to actually gain some solid RP. Getting your placement obviously gives you a way higher multiplier on those kills, so as long as you're like maxing out at like 6, you can't get any more. And even if you're only getting like 4 or 5 a game, that's absolutely fine. Like, pick them up early game and pick them up late game, and I'm sure you'll be gaining a ton more RP just playing for that position and not pushing every single fight, like thinking you have to push every single fight and take everyone down. Just be a bit more strategic and think about the fights you're taking. Anyway, I will be doing one of these for plat to diamond as well, but like I say, you know, I hope this has been helpful for those of you who might be struggling with gold this season, or have been struggling with gold in the past. Obviously, it's a new map, so learn your positions, and like I said, learn the drop points, and just go a little somewhere quieter away from people. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope it's been helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.